Hello and welcome to the RotoWire Fantasy Soccer Show. I am Adam Zdroik. I'm talking Tuesday showdown between Aston Villa and Liverpool. I'm talking on a Monday. Happy Monday. It's finally warm in Michigan. The sun is out. People are mowing their lawns. Blowers are going. So there may be some sounds going on in the background, but I got some background music to help move things along on the show today. But talking Aston Villa against Liverpool, we have Liverpool at 2.07 implied goals against 0.94 for Aston Villa, and win percentage 66%. You got the clean sheet odds of 40%. And as usual, I'm just going to run down a few notes, a few trends that I've looked at. So, Liverpool, of course, they are still in a must win spot. They only got 1 point against Tottenham over the weekend. They're three behind a Manchester City. Basically, they can't drop any more points. So, they're going to be pushing again. Aston Villa simply kind of just playing for the top 10. They want to end the season on a high note, and that's kind of what Steven Gerrard just said. They're going to plug in some young guys here and there, but they're still going to try and get points. They're sitting in 11th right now, 43 points. So they're sitting in that range, fighting with Brighton and Crystal Palace for top 10 right there. But for this matchup, looking at prior games, we had earlier in the season 1-0 Liverpool won at home. They needed a Mohamed Salah PK in the 67th minute. Aston Villa kind of held on as long as they could there. Liverpool finished, if you take away the PK, they had 1.68 expected goals compared to just 2.24 for Aston Villa. 20 shots compared to 4, 11 corners compared to 3. And then last season, again, this is at Liverpool, we had TAA had a stoppage time winner in a 2-1 result. Again, same kind of thing where you got Liverpool getting a bunch of shots, getting more corners, more expected goals, and those matches were both at Liverpool. So I don't think there's a great comparison for the last time these teams played at home. It was when these teams last played uh, at Aston Villa. It was October 2020 that Aston Villa they won 7-2. Jack Grealish was on their team. So what are we putting into that? Not much to put in that result. Jack Grealish had 2 goals and 3 assists in that game. And like if you want to look at the FA Cup game where Liverpool won 4-1, don't look at it. Villa, because of COVID, they played with their U23s, maybe their U21, something like that. So there's really only 2 prior results you can look at, and both those were at Liverpool. So we have those results here. In terms of Aston Villa, they're the harder team to predict. We don't know exactly what's they've been extremely up and down with Steven Gerrard. They've had some good streaks, they've had some bad streaks. They're currently on one of their better streaks. Draw against at Leicester, beat Norwich, one at Burnley. Obviously, none of those teams are like Liverpool, so you put that into account. But I mean, before that streak, they lost 4 straight, culminating in a 4-0 home loss against Tottenham. And I think after that match, Steven Gerrard was like, we got to switch some stuff up. We got to be a little better in the back. We got to contain a little more. And for the most part, it's actually worked for them. And they played pretty well. They had a clean sheet at Burnley over the weekend, but they gave up a late goal to Cornet uh, for that one. But I mean that one was already completed. And the big number I see for Liverpool is that they haven't scored more than 2 goals in 9 of their last 10 league matches. So I think that's relevant in case you're looking at Emiliano Martinez, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. So you have that there. So I mean, it's not a perfect comparison here, perfect situation, but it's at least something to where they're not scoring more than 2 goals in their away matches of late. We look at the possible starting 11s here. Villa may change some things around on a short week. We'll see what happens. We still got, I think, both Buendia and Ings subbed off early over the weekend. But again, I mean, they were up 2 goals pretty early in that match. I assume Watkins is going to be there. We could see Coutinho back in the starting 11, but we could see the same front three. given what they just did against Burnley. Ings has been awesome since moving. The last couple games came off the bench 2 games ago against Norwich, I believe. And in the midfield, we have Jacob Ramsey still out. We may see one of the youngsters. I think there's going to be a youngster in there. Last game, it was Callum Chambers playing the midfield. Chukwuemeka may get the start. He came on for sorry, I'm just drawing a blank. I just said his name, but came on for Chambers last match. And then we still have Tim Irogbunam as a possibility to start. But Chukwuemeka, so he's gotten more time than Igro Bonham, whatever his name is. He got more time than him this season. Either way, whoever starts, no consideration in this matchup. They won't go full 90. I mean, there's no guarantee Douglas Luiz even starts here. I think there's a chance that Konza moves out on the back line for Chambers, something like that. As for Liverpool, we could have Jota back in the starting 11. We could see some mix-up here. But again, Liverpool need that 3 points. We could see Joel Matip in for Konate on the back line. We could see Tsimikas in for Robertson. I doubt TAA is going to be rested in this spot. And Keita could be back as well. We had Jordan Henderson start over the weekend. So we got a few questions, but for the most part, these teams they start their same course, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. We have Mohamed Salah with the best odds to score at -105. Not surprising. Mane, Jota are in there. Luis Diaz is in there. Naby Keita is in there. And the thing about this slate, as we look at it, is that we have mispricings. That's the main thing we got to take away. There's mispricings on the slate. DraftKings has made a mistake. And we look at it, TAA. There's really nothing to say about it other than it's a mistake. TAA dropped in price. I mean, this is Showdown pricing here, but if you look at captain pricing, Andrew Robertson, 12.6K, TAA 11.1K. He's cheaper than Danny Ings. TAA Trent Alexander-Arnold is cheaper than Thiago. Okay, TAA has 34 crosses in the last 2 matches. He had a 22.9 floor over the weekend against Tottenham. I think it's pretty safe to say he's going to be the most popular captain in cash games, maybe even tournaments. It's unfortunate that DraftKings did this, but it's kind of the situation here. We see he has a 20-point floor, and we see he has upside. It's just going to be hard not to captain him when he's so much cheaper than all these other guys. It kind of sucks, really. I'm not sure why DraftKings, or how even DraftKings had made this mistake, but here we are. So let's plug him in for cash games, and then you're just going to plug in the other fullback, whether it's Robertson or Tsimikas. Tsimikas is down at 6,600, and then you got Robertson at 84. Again, I think because of TA's price, you're going to have a lot of flexibility on this slate. And as usual, for cash games at least, I think you can just plug in Mohamed Salah. He's got the PKs and as good a full as any of the forwards. I mean, with that core right there, you still got plenty of wiggle room. If you want some corners out of Luca Digne, he's down at 6,200. Why not? I mean, they are at home. You can even see, like, if they go down early and then maybe there's going to be more pushing at the end kind of a thing, or if it's an even match, I still think Digne has a decent floor in this spot. I mean, that 4-0 loss against Tottenham, not the exact same situation, not the same exact team, but he had an 18-point floor in that match because Villa were attacking for the majority of that match, and he's taking all his corners basically. So you have that in there. I do not believe, no, we didn't play in the prior matchup against Liverpool, but if you want to plug him in cash games, not terrible. You have money to move around really wherever you want. I don't think Alisson is a cash play here. You're basically playing for the win and clean sheet, and he hasn't made more than 2 saves in like his last 8 starts. So again, the winner clean sheet right there. He's right in the range of Ollie Watkins, but Thiago's more expensive than him. I think you either, like, if you go Digne for your Villa piece, you'd go with you go with the Jota or Mane up here. Let's say Mane's starting, and then you're down here in the 4K range for your fifth guy. So you have a few ways to go, depending on if you want more than one forward. But again, I come back to what I said about Liverpool. They haven't scored more than 2 goals in 9 of their last 10 away matches. So in that situation, do you care about getting more than one of their top forwards? Do you care more about getting more than just Mohamed Salah from 3 Liverpool attackers? Maybe, maybe not. We also um, Fabinho seems like he dropped in price here. I guess he's coming off a pretty bad match where he committed a bunch of fouls and had a yellow card. But Fabinho is still, I guess his league numbers aren't as good as what his Premier League numbers were. But Fabinho's down here. If Henderson starts, he hasn't been going 90s. I would not go with Henderson. Thiago is mispriced, so he's not going to be popular. Keita, I think he'll be getting some looks if he starts. The last away match, he got their winner against Newcastle, and it seems like Keita's been getting pretty forward when he's in there because Fabinho's in that more the central role, and then you got Thiago and Keita on the outside. So like if you go Digne and Keita, there are 2 spots, you got plenty of room to go. That lineup really doesn't fit everything in there. But I think so. The last time we had Liverpool, people squeezed in both Salah and Jota, and then just this must have been Champions League where they went to 2 cheap Villarreal guys and got Coquelin and Capu of Villarreal. People just went to the TAA, Robertson, Salah, Jota, and then you could just fit in 2 cheap guys. So I think that is in range. And that will lead you to know Digne, but let's just try this with TA captain Robertson, Salah. I'll take out Digne. I'll put Mane in there, and then we're left with 10.3K for 2 spots. So again, the cheap price of TA allows you to do a little more than you'll usually want. Just looking up at the more cheaper of the Liverpool guys, not Villarreal. We got Canote at 4K if he starts. Joe Gomez if he's in there. Van Dijk's 4,800, same as Keita. Matip is 5K. So you got a couple more Liverpool guys in there. So really, you could go with any of those guys. Let's just say you got Henderson in there. Yeah. So I think this may be the most popular cash build. We got TA captain, Robertson, Salah, Mane, Henderson, Digne. I think that is probably the route here, and that's kind of all that needs to be said, I guess. You got some wiggle room. If you don't want to play Henderson just because he's probably going to go 60 or 70 minutes, that's possible. On the other side of that, if Henderson doesn't start, we would be looking at Konate if he starts. Again, if neither of those guys starts, then you'd probably be looking at 2 Aston Villa guys. And as I said in that Villarreal slate, people are not afraid to play 2 guys as long as you can get 2 of the Liverpool forwards. But I think that's the logical route. TAA is the hands down most popular captain. I'm not sure if Tsimikas is in there. Obviously, there's going to be even more wiggle room. I guess I'll do a lineup here with him in there because you can easily fit in 2 forwards in that case. So there's a lot of places you go. This one looks even more obvious. We got TA captain. We got Tsimikas, Salah, Mane, McGinn, and Digne. You could take out either McGinn or Digne and go with another Liverpool guy. So pretty easy overall from cash games. And that's kind of what it comes down to. Tournaments. TA, again, as I said, he will still be popular. I think that's pretty clear. He's going to have a good floor. This is a matchup. What I was saying with Aston Villa, even though I think they're playing well and they're limiting teams, I don't think they're just going to prevent Liverpool from getting chances, from getting opportunities, from getting crosses. They just had 46 crosses against Tottenham. I don't think Aston Villa are going to control this match by any means. Again, just pulling up the last match, Liverpool had 20 shots and 11 corners. That was at Liverpool, so maybe that means something. I think Aston Villa have one more match one more home match this season. Let me double check. Sorry, they have two more home matches, so not as dire of a situation, I guess you could say. So we got that, but if you don't want to go TA in captain, we have a few routes to go. Um, let's see here. So you probably let's look at Salah captain. Okay, there's going to be Salah captainers. There's going to be any three of those captainers, and because of the cheap price of TAA, you're actually not going to have. It's not going to be the ugliest looking lineup. So it's actually pretty easy. Just captain who you want to captain. Salah, he's gonna, he has the best odds to score, so he'll probably be the second most popular captain. I still assume TA is going to be the most popular captain in tournaments just because of that price. It can allow you to do a little bit more. In terms of Villa, we could go like if you want. I mean, even the cheap Villa forward route, like we have Watkins. Like Watkins is 300 cheaper than TAA in terms of captaincy. There's not really a huge reason to go with Watkins at captain. Like you're going for the early Aston Villa goal with Watkins. So if Watkins gets that goal, maybe finishes at 15 points, and then TA is going to get a floor of 15. So there's not really a benefit there to going Watkins unless it's a game that kind of gets out of hand. Maybe Villa gets an early goal and Liverpool, it's back and forth a little more than Aston Villa want. So that's always possible. So, I mean, you could play that route where you're not going with either goalkeeper and that kind of thing. So it's always possible. Otherwise, yeah, Tsimikas here is, I guess I should have mentioned, he may be, if he starts, he may be the second most popular captain in cash games. I mean, you see his numbers. He played 26 minutes, 30 minutes against Tottenham, made 11 crosses. Obviously, Liverpool pushing at the end of that match, but I think he crosses more than Robertson, if I'm being frank here, but you have that, and he's cheaper than Robertson. So another cash captain for you. Also, option to captain in tournaments, going down, like Adina. He's in there, but I mean, this isn't really much of a slate for Villa captains, unless I think the move is if you want to Aston Villa guy, because it's not like if Aston Villa score, it's not like these guys are also going to have 10-point floors to have. So like a Watkins or even Ings, it's not like these guys. I mean, maybe they get a couple goals, maybe, but I mean, as we see in these recent matchups, there hasn't been a ton. Villa haven't got a ton of quality opportunities. So, do you want to play for multi goals? Probably not. They probably aren't going to get more than 10 shots. They'll probably be between 5 and 10 shots. So you're not really going to get much of a floor from any of these guys. Maybe outside of McGinn. I mean, I like McGinn overall. He seems like he's going to get to 10 points no matter what, especially at home. That's just kind of what he does. But you're getting, I mean, that's more from defensive stats. You're not hoping maybe he'll get a shot on goal kind of a thing, but you're going for defensive stats in that situation. For Martinez, so the thing I like about him is the saves will be there. In that prior meeting, made 4 saves at Liverpool, 1-0 loss. Prior to that, 2-1 loss at Liverpool. He made 8 saves. And what you have Manchester City match in here, 5 saves and a 2-1 home loss. I mean, you got all these. I mean, sure, you have some negatives. You have the negative 5.8 home against Tottenham. You just hope that doesn't happen, but you see some of these results, and you hope that he doesn't. You hope that the saves are there, and you hope that he doesn't allow more than 2 goals. So, obviously, with even if he doesn't get a clean sheet, I think he can still win tournaments just because he's cheaper down here. So, if they lose 1-0, let's say Aston Villa lose 1-0, or even it's a 1-1, just to say he allows 1 goal, but Martinez gets 5-6 saves, like you're almost getting 10 points right there with Martinez, and you're spending down on him at captain. So that's going to allow you to do a lot of things here. So you're going to get TAA, you're going to get Robertson. Let's just say those guys are the starting fullbacks here. And okay, so then you got 9,000 between your final 3 spots with Martinez captain. So you plug in Salah and one of the other forwards. I'll just try them. I'll try the max route. I'll do Salah and Jota. You got 6,300 left. So in that spot, you got Dina, you got McGinn. So you got Matty Cash. You got a wide range here. You could use, any of the cheaper midfield, Liverpool midfielders, defender kind of a thing. Hope for a center back goal, whatnot. So you got a wider range of options when you captain Martinez. And hey, what if he makes the five to? What if he has one of the 5 to 8 save kind of matches? So that's the benefit of Martinez. You have the upside of saves, and you don't need a clean sheet. So you got that, and then he allows you to spend up on other guys. So those are the routes in tournaments. I'd say I'm probably only going to be looking at that Martinez captain in terms of Villa in tournaments. I don't see another option here. Like I said, it's just not, these guys aren't going to be probably, it's not really, there's no reason to spend on them when TAA is in that same range. So that's kind of the downfall that DraftKings did on this slate. Again, I keep saying it's unfortunate, but it is because there's going to be way too many Trent Alexander-Arnold captains, and that's just what they left us with. So that's it is what it is. You're just going to have to combine. You're going to have to look at, you're going to decide on what forwards you want to use. I've been automatic to Salah, but Salah fade is always in play. Just be warned of his floor has actually been better in the second half of the season. I feel like. I mean, you saw in the Tottenham game, 9.1. A lot of the forwards actually had a pretty solid floor, just getting crosses, creating chances. Even Sadio Mane, I think he had a 10-point floor in that game. So you got that. You also got the PKs with Salah. And I mean, when you fade them, you hope that, I mean, the 10-point floor won't kill you, but you have to make up somewhere else. You got to hope that it's Mane and Diaz connecting for a goal kind of a thing. And Salah's left out with 8 to 10 points, and those guys are in the 10 to 15 point range. That's kind of the thought with this slate, because Liverpool are going to get more opportunities. They're going to get their crosses. So that's just how you want to play it if you want to fade Salah. So there you go. That's what we got for Aston Villa against Liverpool. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. Me and Ryan Belangi will be discussing the Wednesday 4-game slate at DraftKings. It is not up yet, but it should be a fun slate. We got Chelsea and Manchester City on it, and then we got a couple teams that are relegated in the other matches. So I think there will be a lot of ways to go, even though you got a couple giants in there. So good luck on this one. Let's go with this. Let's go with this Martinez captain and see what we can do. I mean, I'd be happy with the win clean sheet. That'd be awesome. But maybe that's testing your luck a little bit. As I didn't mention the Alisson captain. If you want to do that, go ahead. But again, he hasn't made more than 2 saves in a long time. So let's just say he makes 2 saves, get the win clean sheet. That's 14 points, and we come back to pricing. We look at Alisson is basically the same pricing as TAA. What's the benefit? TAA will probably be in that 14-point range. So there's not really a benefit to captaining Alisson, unfortunately, because of the pricing. But good luck on the slate. Rotowire.com/soccer trial. Free 10-day trial, no credit card required. And yeah, you can get this. You can get everything here. I mean, we look at this on the drop-down lineup optimizer, value report, lineups, formations. We got rankings for FPL, for Fantrax. We got trends. We got stats. We got everything. So there you go. We're back tomorrow, and good luck on this one. And let's go Martinez. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.